Good morning, all you mothers out there. Happy Mother's Day to you. It is coffee
Coffee
time
time.
Sunday.
Happy Mother's Day to all you mothers out
Morning,
there.
Missy Jen. Nice to see you.
Morning, Rosie.
Looking sprightly and lovely, and we're ladies in blue today. And it is
Rosie
Sunday.
girl looks luscious as always.
It is Sunday, May 13th, 2018, here on the Rancho. And as the title says, I'm hurting today, but in a good way. If you saw the videos from yesterday, Missy Jen had me hopping around this rancho like a Mexican jumping bean. There wasn't no rest for the weary around here. It's like, I think we were going at it hammer and tong till about 8 o'clock last night, Jen. But the feel-good factor was very high from that, huh?
Yeah.
Hmm?
Work will set you free, eh?
Missy Jen is like, get it done. Don't talk
Get it
about
done?
it. Do it.
We have a working kitchen faucet. We have a spigot outside that works. It doesn't squirt all water everywhere. We have
that ceiling
a
light in
light
that kitchen.
fixture in the ceiling that's not dangling there like it's gonna fall on your head any minute.
But I will tell you what, God, the price to be paid is when you wake up the next day, up and down a ladder and crawling around and doing all that. I could hardly move. I was hurting, but in a good way.
And also imagine you don't have to go to the gym.
Don't have to
You
go
can
to the
just do
gym.
it all at home.
Don't have to go to the gym, and
Workout.
in keeping with the spirit of my diet, which is now finishing 7 weeks, climbing up in the sweat box above the kitchen was was a really good finish. Yes. Anyway, guys, it was a mixed week. It was certainly a week that had some sadness with the loss of the O'Kelly channel. But you know what? I'm not the person I was, Jen, 4 or 5 years ago, and much stronger now, much more mature, and much more able to put things in perspective in life. And life goes on, YouTube goes on, and the bottom line is if you really want to be someplace, you'll be someplace. If you really don't want to be there, you won't be there. I mean, that's
right.
The bottom line. And this time around,
I drink to that one.
There we go. And this time around, I've realized, and don't get me wrong, I mean, it was a tremendous volume of 6,000 videos to be lost. I'd say half of them were backed up and half of them weren't. But it's a huge body of work to be lost. But, I still have a pulse. My heart still beats. I mean, life goes on. And I was just thinking to myself that I'm not the person I used to be because, as I say, you did get older and more mature. And you tend to have more perspective on life and more perspective on the ways that you want to spend your time in life. And the thing that I had felt myself moving towards is I was much more interested in my interest moved more and more to being a video creator and putting up content, and kind of less about being on Hangouts and all that. Not that I considered them a waste of time because I love, I love to run my fat little mouth all night long. But I have to catch myself. There's times in the past where I do a Hangouts like 4, 5, 6 times in a week, every night. And now it's been kind of delightful to have this break in here. It's been a good thing. And for those of you who think it was strike related, not true. This is something, Missy Jen, before that I had contacted TR Prepper and told him I wanted to take time off from the Tuesday night chats, something I had done for almost 3 years, every Tuesday religiously. So, don't believe everything you hear. Especially on YouTube, because there's a lot of people with an agenda out there that don't care about the truth. They care about trying to be reshapers of truth. So let's just set that stuff straight. On a happy note, it's nice to see the Rancho coming together, Missy Jen, and things being done to make stuff that's gone for years around here and not been tended to. It's been nice to see the positive changes on there too. We have, I think this will be our final week, and then we're off to our nice trip to LA, or maybe it's the following, probably the following. I'm not, but I'm starting to get excited about that. I hope to meet several people down there besides our friend
I
Diane.
think it's one more.
Yeah. Anyway, it's going to be exciting. We've got our hotels long booked. We're all ready to roll
Yeah.
down there, and it's going to be a chance for Missy Jen to really, for the first time, we rode through LA last time coming up from our long trip, but it'll be the first time for Missy Jen to explore LA inside, to get in there and really get the lay of what makes LA such a cooking and unusual and cool city. It's America's second largest city, and really a place that defines cool in America. And a lot of the trends of the country tend to start in San Francisco and LA and ripple across. So it's going to be a joy to see LA through Missy Jen's eyes, and all the places we're going to go and hang out, and the people that we're going to see. It should be a wonderful time. Meanwhile, today, Missy Jen, let me just say I did put up a cinematographic video, cell phone cinematography. And just remember that, you do have some people that are obviously professional videographers or cinematographers weighing in. They tend to be very picky, but you got to understand that you're using a cell phone. You're not using a dedicated camera to do these videos. And for me, when you're standing on the outcropping of Bodega Bay, and it's 40-mile-an-hour winds, and you're trying to hold the camera steady, and
It's 40 degrees.
you got a T-shirt on. And I'll tell you,
Shorts.
when you consider what went into post-production editing and what came out, I'd say, you can feel pretty good. I'm a rank amateur when it comes to cinematography, but I sure do enjoy doing it. So if you
I
haven't,
think Rosie Girl did a bloody awesome job on that video. Once again, another slobber knocker, a home run, cinematography masterpiece is what I call them. So
thank you, honey. Now we
check it
have
out.
more drone flying coming up this week, and this is going to be today or tomorrow. It's an unusual one because we take a very well-known landmark, and Missy Jen does some flying around, and we got some really exceptional video on that. Gonna put that in the editing, put some music on that, and show you guys some more of Missy Jen's drone work. And of course, every time we use it, every time Missy Jen uses, get more and more comfortable on the device, and more confident. It's really a confidence thing.
It's always a problem with not knowing when you go somewhere and you don't know the lay of the land.
Yeah.
And even though you have a screen, you only can see what the camera sees. You don't know what is on the sides of the drone, what's underneath the drone, or immediately behind the drone. So you are in multi-directions, flying blind. And when there are trees, tall trees, and hillsides, it is kind of tricky. So bear that in mind when you watch the video that will come up here.
Yeah, well, I edit things and I put things, people like to see the drone
The
moving.
Rosie Girl does a really awesome job editing the drone footage together. There were some really tall trees, and it was kind of tricky flying around, not seeing the trees, because we were way on the other side of 2 other buildings. So
Yeah, we're not going to make this drone 101, but it's always good to stand on the ground first and then determine, what kind of radiuses you can safely use from
Right.
your target location, what your height should be. Because let's face it, just doing high flying isn't, it's not as cinematic
Right.
as being at 30, 40, 50 feet and looping around low level, but your
Absolutely.
risk factor goes up exponentially when you're at that height
You want to
because
have
you have
close up
power lines,
flyovers, trees.
trees, and you really have to be very thoughtful. And it's a confidence factor. When you fly that drone into very heavy wind conditions, you never know at a point if it pitches too much and the gyros don't adjust on it, and before you know it, your drone is sitting a mile out in the ocean and it's
Yeah.
game over. And you're looking at $2,000 just floating out there like a dead duck with no chance to retrieve it. So it's building confidence in what a drone can do, and this is why we do test flights. This is why we take it out in high wind conditions when the screen is flashing like crazy, that dangerous wind conditions. And Missy Jen flies on because you've got to be able to handle and adapt and be able to pull that thing off of automatic control when it's trying to override you. Take control of it and make that drone flight good. And that's the real skill level, not flying a drone.
The wind will throw off the gyroscope sensors, and then once they're thrown off, they will not reset itself anymore. You have to actually land it and manually reset the whole drone.
Or worse still, you're in flight and you have to kick over to manual mode. And then you're really flying on your own for levelness, and it's very difficult when you're buffeted by 30 to 40 mile an hour winds. But I have to say, you did a good job on that, Missy Jen, and you brought some good footage. Remember, not me, but me. I haven't even I'm a drone virgin. Actually, I'm not a drone.
And we will start training the Rosie girl. So
actually, I'm not a drone virgin because my first
will
little drone, the Wright brothers flight lasted longer than that did. I think the Wright brothers first flight was 33 seconds airborne. I think mine was 6.5 seconds, and it smashed into the wall and wrecked the drone. So Missy Jen's a little hesitant to put me out.
Take you out in the wide open. No walls, no buildings. No power lines.
That's six seconds. That 6 seconds that shook the world, and boom, right into the wall, and that was like game over. Takes a high skill level. Anyway, guys, good stuff coming up. We've got some more drone flying coming up, some more projects around here, and some other things this week too. Some good things. Got some good morning choo-choos tomorrow. After 7 weeks of being on a diet. I can tell, it's been dramatic changes. Going to update that. Got one more week of hardcore dieting ahead, and then we are off to LA. So we got that coming up, and then some funny morning stuff too. And thank you for all the support. Zillions of people have written, messaged, left comments and things. We really love you guys. Love being here for Coffee Time Sundays.
And then next month is your birthday.
Yeah, next month is my birthday.
Rosie Gal's birthday.
All right, guys. Happy Sunday to you as we approach the 11-minute mark. Happy Mother's Day to all your moms.
Happy Mother's Day.
If you have a mom, value her. I lost mine about that.
I have my mom still, and so, well, she's not watching, but Happy Mother's Day, Mom.
I lost mine about 18 years ago, and there's not a day that goes by that I don't think about her. Anyway, guys, happy Mother's Day. Happy Sunday. Thanks for being with us on Coffee Time Sunday.